October 30th, 2023, Dominica made the list the coolest for 2024, the 30 most exciting destinations to visit. The article read, and I quote, Dominica is a rare Caribbean island where the coast is often bypassed by visitors in favor of its magnificently wild interior. The Waitakubuli Sea Trail is a step to redressing the balance while staying true to the island's focus on activities and low-impact tourism. It is the first dedicated sea kayaking route in the Caribbean, running along the west coast for almost 40 miles. The 14 stages take in sculpted cliffs, fishing villages, hidden beaches, and rewarding spots to go snorkeling, with strategically placed rest spots for the night. Local outfitters rent out equipment to experienced sea kayakers and offer guided multi-day expeditions for beginners. Waitakubuli is the name of the island in the language of the indigenous Kalinago people, and the Sea Trail is a conscious companion to the 115-mile Waitakubuli National Trail, which opened over a decade ago as the longest hiking route in the Caribbean and helped to establish Dominica's nature-loving reputation. And guess what? So we're on the cool list, one of the best places to visit in the Caribbean, in the world, and if you're looking for somewhere to live in Dominica, we got you. We don't just got you, we got her. Rhea Williams is with me in studio, and we're going to be talking about the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. And if you don't know, it's always my pleasure to be in your company. My name is Monelle Alexis. I'm Public Relations and Communication Specialist for Discover Dominica Authority, and I am the host of Talking Tourism. And today is all about the amazing things that have been going on with Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. Rhea Williams is with me in studio. She's the Executive Vice President. From the time she got the job, her feet was hot. And guys, it's still hot. She's still doing a lot of amazing things. And we're going to find out everything that has been happening with DHTA, what's going on with DHTA currently, and all things, yeah? And the lines are open if you do want to call sometime during this program. The numbers to call, 1-800-327 or 448-3281 or 448-3297. This is Talking Tourism. And Rhea Williams, good morning. Hi, Rhea.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me today.
And it's a wet day. Did it dampen your spirit? What's going on?
This is Dominica, honey. You cannot allow rain to dampen your spirit.
Nice one.
It's all part of it. That's one of the great things about being here is number one, our rainforest is not green because we didn't get rain, right? So we get rain every day and we see it as a blessing. So no, rain does not stop anything in Dominica. If we want to do it, we do it. So I'm here today. Again, it's Dominica.
And thank you very much for joining me on Talking Tourism. Miss Rhea Williams, pray tell, could you tell us a bit more about your background and what led you into this role as the Executive Vice President of Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association?
So I got here in somewhat of a roundabout way. So my background is actually in accounting and banking and finance and retail sales. And I lived in the States for 30 years and wanted to move back. So I moved back, and in the years that I was back, in the first few years, I actually worked for a company outside of Dominica. And then COVID happened, and, you have to make changes in your life. And the option was staying in Dominica or going back to the U.S., and I really wanted to stay. So I really wanted to stay because for me, this is home.
Yes.
This is where I'm most centered. So started looking for a position, and tourism in Dominica is something that has always fascinated me. We have so many amazing things in Dominica that people could visit. There, you can go to just about somewhere every year, every day of the year, and go somewhere different, right? So I'm like, why don't we market this? Like, how do we make that a product? And that was before I was even in tourism. So when I saw this opportunity for the DHTA, I'm like, hey, I'm applying. I mean, you never know.
True.
And here I am today. So great opportunity. You know, again, this for anybody out there, this is an opportunity for you to see, throw your hat in the ring. You never know where you may end up. So take the risk.
Welcome back home. It's a good place to be.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned that Dominica has a lot of amazing places and things to do. So do tell us your top 5 amazing things you do or you've liked doing in Dominica.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, I have a lot of family and friends that come down, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to get them to see Dominica as a vacation spot, because most people that come home see it as just to see your family. But no. When you come down, you can see your family, but you have to explore Dominica.
Agreed.
So I'm going to give you some of the things I do heading into the interior. Okay, so my interior day trip, I'm going to give it to everybody so you can do it. First stop, is, so you leave town about 9 o'clock, right?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. First stop is Jacko Falls in Penrice. You walk down some steps, jump into that cold water, and it's cold. I'm sorry, it's refreshing.
Yes.
Refreshing. Okay. You take a dip. You have a shot of rum in the bar across the street. Awesome space. Then you go to Spanny Falls. Lovely hike. It's only about 15 minutes walk, nice, lovely path. There's actually a wall, I call it the rain wall, because doesn't matter what time of the year it is, it's always dripping of different sprinklings of rain. I think we should do a model fashion shoot there. So for anybody looking, that's an amazing space to do, particularly a bathing suit. Photo shoot. So from Spanny, you leave Spanny, you stop off at Mabas Basse in Concord. And oh my God, you jump off the big rocks, lovely Basse. That water temperature is perfect. It's the perfect room temperature river water that you want, because after coming from Spanny and Jacko, that are, refreshing. You end up at Concord, right, in Mabas Basse. Then there you have 2 other things that you could do. You could go river tubing with Citrus Creek Hotel, or you could go to Summer Gardens Farm and do a farm tour. And then at the end, and that farm tour is amazing. Whatever fruits are in season, he has, oh my God, his options of fruit trees on that property is just, I don't know what I don't know how he does it, but he does. So whatever fruits are in season, you do this tour, you pick, and when you're done, they do a lovely little meal from whatever fruits are in season. They make different recipes that you eat, and then you can go take a dip in Mermaid's Pool in the Pegua River. I'm telling you, Dominica is awesome. And that's one day, right?
I love your
One
energy.
day.
I love
From
your
there-
energy, Rhea. This is good stuff.
From there, you head to Calibishi, you do Chocolate Factory. And no, we can even add Seacliff gin tasting in there
Yes,
as well, right? But you you go to Chocolate Factory, you taste, our chocolate is just so good, and I'm not a chocolate lover. So if I tell you it's good, you know it's good. Especially the rum truffles. Oh, put that in the fridge. You are set, okay? Cold, and you just pop one in. Chocolate Factory. Then you eat, then you go to Red Rocks. You can eat at Red Rocks, or you can eat lower down at Coral Reef. Great food. I mean, you just cannot go wrong. And again, that's just one day. One day. And we've driven maybe 10 miles.
And you bathe at every location. You
bathe
recommend
at
bathing at every location.
That's the amazing thing. And we don't understand the value of our rivers, because in most places you can't bathe in the rivers. But just imagine, Dominica, everywhere that we go, you just hop in. So anyway, So that's just a little sample. Little sample.
Oh, thank you for your top 5, which ended up in a full day activity. I love it. Okay, we're talking about your background and how you got here in Dominica. So you were planning on leaving and then you decide, okay, home is where you want to be post-COVID. So what aspects of your previous experience do you find most beneficial in your current role?
So for me, I think it's the customer service aspect of my previous roles that was essential. But even more so the organizational aspect of my previous roles. One of the things that I've come to realize is in Dominica, we're very laissez-faire about a lot of things, right? I know this person and we have a deal. Well, that's not business, right? Just saying I know somebody and have a deal is not business. So how, what I bring is my experience in looking at an organization and helping you better structure the operations of your business so that you are not only operating more efficiently, but it also allows you to clearly see where your business stands and what you need to do to take you to the next level. So for me, that's one of the biggest things that I bring, as well as my background in finance. My degree is in accounting, so my ability to understand the numbers of your business and what those drivers are, and of course customer service. And that's an area we need an immense amount of improvement in Dominica. And in fact, our next Act Talk workshop, which we're moving, I think it's to the end of August, if I remember correctly, I don't know the exact date, will be on customer service and how we can not just standardize customer service, but also improve on customer service in Dominica.
Wonderful. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Awesome. Somebody comment from Facebook. Where did she say is the farm tour and water tubing? Where is it?
Oh, Summer Gardens. Oh my God. Email admin at Dominica HTA and we can give you his contact information. And the river tubing is Citrus Creek. That same email. We'll send you their contact information.
Awesome. And good morning to Jude's Honorary. So we're talking Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. We have the Executive Vice President here in studio. Her name is Rhea Williams. Rhea, next question for you. Can you tell us more about DHTA? What is the organization? What does the organization do?
Okay, so DHTA was actually created in the early 1970s, so about 1970, 71. And it was created by a few stalwarts in the organization, in the industry. I think Mrs. Amor was one of them for Anchorage, Anna John Baptist for Papillot, and there were quite a few. And the purpose of that they created this organization was to create an advocacy group for the people that are in the industry with regards to driving policy for the industry in Dominica. And, their idea was to create one voice. So remember, we're a not-for-profit organization. We get no funding from the government, by the way, so donations are really welcome.
You have to plug in the number to call if you want to donate is?
275-7454. Or you could go on to, we have an online platform that you could actually donate to and do monthly contributions. It's patreon.com/DHTA. It's called Friends of DHTA on Patreon. And you can make a monthly financial donation to the tier of your choice. We can talk about more of that later.
Yes. But back to the history.
Back to the history, right?
Yes.
So it really started as more about advocacy and having a single voice that you can negotiate policy. You can navigate, because tourism is a broad a very broad industry with a lot of diverse requirements or needs by the different sectors of that industry. So it was, how do you create one voice to establish standards, to establish protocols, to develop policy that not only benefits the members of the organization but the tourism industry as a whole, because the tourism industry contributes in 2022, I think 12% of the total country's GDP came just from the tourism industry. So that's a huge aspect of the industry.
Yeah.
So then how do we, what do we need to do to improve on that and to increase that? So that's what it was created for initially.
Lovely. So that rolls lovely into my next question. So since stepping into this role, what initiatives have you introduced to boost the hotel and tourism industry in Dominica?
Okay, so when I came in, the position had been vacant for about, I think, 3 years. So, and a number of really great initiatives that the DHTA had, they had stopped doing. So I've been in the position for 7 months now, I think, about that. So what we decided to do is go back through what they were doing that were really good and relaunch those. So we brought back the ACTOC workshops, which is Action Through Collaboration for Tourism. And these workshops, we put on 2 a year. So we brought those back. We did the first one in January, and the one in January was about recognizing what activities we have in our communities and working on developing that activity into a product for tourism. So we brought back the ACTOC workshops. The other thing we brought back was the newsletter. So DHTA used to do a newsletter that went out to their members that kept them current on what's going on in the industry, things that they need to know, articles that had been published about Dominica, what's going on for our different members. So we brought that back as well. We brought back Hike Fest, which hadn't happened because of COVID. And it was a phenomenal success this year. I cannot wait for next year. We're planning that out already, so be ready.
Okay, so let's pause on.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to come back to talk about Hike Fest in a bit, but continue.
What else did we bring back? We're looking at bringing back the National Trade Show and Cocktail. So that was an event that the DHTA used to have. It was a networking event for people within the hotel and tourism
It used to be held at Fortune Hotel, correct?
I think they held it at different places. I think they used to be held at Cabritz, and then for 1 year it was held at the president's property.
Okay, I'm thinking of the wrong event then.
Yeah, the State House. So we're looking to bring that back. But what we would love to do is actually do 2 events a year. Do a trade show, which is a traditional trade show, where we have all our local producers, manufacturers, agro-processors, craft businesses do almost like a mini tea village Creole, but do it during Carnival, because during Carnival we don't have anything on that scale where any visitor can come and go buy local products, right? They have to search for it. So what we'd love to do is do a trade show of that caliber during Independence, along with booths that promote our properties in Dominica, because the week of Carnival, the week immediately before Carnival, is actually our busiest of our cruise ship season, where every day we usually have at least 3 ships in port. And that is an enormous trapped market because they're there for the day. So we want to bring back the trade show as 2 events. The first one will be as a traditional trade show. The second one will be as a networking cocktail.
Nice.
So those are the 2 we're working on bringing those back. So hopefully 2025 we will be able to relaunch those 2 products. The other thing that they did for, I think, something like 10 years was a magazine called Experience Dominica. Yes.
I remember that.
In my office, there's actually the cover pages, like the huge posters of the cover pages of the magazine through the years. And I got lucky. I found an actual copy. I was at my friend's my mom's friend's house. And I'm talking to her right in her living room.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, the magazine! I would, it's on our list to try to relaunch for the end of 2025 because that is, we're losing the nostalgia of print. And I think that is still, that magazine would be a great opportunity for us to promote Dominica. Just imagine that magazine in the backs of every seat of every flight that comes into Dominica.
That would be awesome.
Right, that would be awesome. Just imagine if we offer digital copies of that. And what sort of promotions we'll have, not just for tourism in Dominica, but for all the businesses that advertise in these magazines. So those are the things that we're working on for 2025 to relaunch, because it doesn't make sense to me trying to create something new when there's something that existed that we can bring back that gives such value.
I agree. As somebody mentioned on Facebook, Faithful Telemark, I believe during Carnival we should have a street food event scheduled during the Carnival season. This is a time where we have many visitors.
Ooh, listen,
What do you think?
I'm always for food. Food and I are very, very good friends. I know you cannot see me in full.
I like that idea.
Yes, but I love that. That's a really, really good idea. And it's something actually DDA is working on as part of their product development, is a food festival for Dominica.
Food festival?
Food and rum. Yo, I'm ready. I am so ready for that. But but yes, so it's a really great idea. It's a very good idea.
You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you.
7 months in?
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, so when you spoke of the Hike Festival, your face lit up. So let's talk about Hike Fest 2024. What transpired? How many times you fell down? What was the excitement?
You really had to embarrass me, right? So,
what was the excitement like? What was the pulse of the festival like? Okay. And what you're looking forward to next year? Because I know that next year is going to be bigger.
Yes.
So let's talk.
Yes. So Hike Fest is an event that DHTA puts on every year. They hadn't done it for 2 or 3 years because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And we relaunched it this year. We did 4 hikes. It's a different hike every Saturday. So what we decided to do, we did 2 segments. For 2 of the Saturdays were segments of the Waitikubuli National Trail, which for anyone listening, it's a 115-mile hiking trail in Dominica. It's the longest hiking trail in the Caribbean. Dominica is only 29 miles long. Longest hiking trail in the Caribbean. It's 115 miles. It takes 13 to 14 days to complete. I know. Okay? So it's 14 segments. It crisscrosses Dominica. I mean, the birds, the wildlife, the fauna, the plants, the trail is such a historical trail because many of our trails were done either by the Kalinago or the Negma War. So you're literally walking in history. So we decided to pick 2 of the segments for Hike Fest, and then 2 subsidiary trails. So our first hike was segment 13, which runs from the village of Penville to the village of Capuchin. And for anybody that knows Dominica, that means we literally crossed from the northeast coast of Dominica to the northwest coast of Dominica. Literally across the head. We just cut across the head. And that hike, it was my first time doing that hike. And the views, I mean, oh my God, Dominica is stunning.
Yes.
Dominica is stunning. The views, the birds, beautiful, beautiful mushrooms. Like, mushrooms are mushrooms. But we had some, just truly beautiful ones along that route. The fruit trees, and also we passed through an old Kalinago village called Grand Four, and the remains are still there. That's something that we have to work on restoring as well. But just, again, you're walking in history. And then the pavers for part of the route are the old tracks that they used to cut sugarcane on. So again, we're part of history, right? So our second hike, The second hike that we did was, where did we do our second hike? Why am I blanking? Segment 5, part of segment 5, which ran from Pokase and we ended at Emerald Pool. That trail actually runs from Pokase to Casabros. But after Hurricane Maria, the portion of the trail that goes from Emerald Pool to Casabros was badly damaged and is slated to be repaired. So people will now have full access. So we ended at Emerald Pool, and let me tell you, everybody just jumped into Emerald Pool. Oh my God, it was amazing, amazing, amazing. And the other thing we did, we partnered with people who prepare food in the community. So everywhere we ended, we had a local villager prepare the food that the hikers bought. Because again, we want
like
to
the
make
community
sure,
integration.
right? We want to make sure the community is part of that experience as well. How could I forget what our second hike was? Our second hike was Jacko Flats. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Outside of just the steps and understanding who Jacko was, he was a Negma War who fought British, French, anybody who was anybody, fought to free enslaved Africans on the island, to free them from slavery and escape into the interior. And when you walk down the steps, number one, each step is as high as from my flat of my foot to like above my knee. So you can imagine the stature of what these people were, right? That they could navigate those, they could build those steps and navigate it, and then crisscrossing the river. Found the new falls. No, we did not. Christopher Columbus and discover it, but that was the first time we heard
Maybe
about
someone before Christopher, but who knows?
Who knows, right? But a new falls called Vagina Falls. I mean, I was like, we have more falls. I'm so excited. You know, and on that trail, we actually had a young man who was who is in Dominica as part of an archaeological dig. So they're doing 2 digs, one at Jacko Flats and one at Woodfordale. And he was with us, so he showed, as we were walking, all the remnants of these villages and settlements that they found, and giving us a brief history of what they found, which was awesome.
I like how you immersed not just the community, but the history of Dominica throughout the hike.
Yes, you have to.
So it was more of a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
Good job.
And for example, Capuchin, we had the local historian at the end, when we got to Capuchin, to Cana Park, actually give us a brief history of the park and a brief history of Dominica and the battle that was going on between the British and the French.
Nice.
Because again, it's all about history, right? And then our final hike.
The one I missed, the one hike I wanted to
hike.
attend.
Oh my God. Final hike was the night hike. And we planned it so well.
It hurt me. I could not have attended, but
yes, you missed it.
I did. But tell us about it. Hurt my feelings one more time, Rhea. Come.
Let me
Details.
Tell you.
Yes.
We planned it so well. We're like, okay, the full moon is going to be Thursday, so we're doing it the Saturday. That will be perfect. The moon will be lovely and bright and blah 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 blah. However, a storm rolled in.
Yeah.
The moon never came out. Never came out. But we had made an arrangement with Do It Center to give discounts to anybody that was doing the night hike on their headlamps.
Nice.
So thank
Good
God,
job.
just about everybody had headlamps, and we navigated that trail. And again, that trail is a huge part of history because it's the beginning part of a historical trail called Shimeleta that runs from Loda to Grand Bay. And again, that's a trail that's existed for hundreds of years. Yes. So all part of the history. And at the end of the hike, we had this gentleman from the village of Loda come give us a brief history of the community, of the family names, of what happened. So again, awesome experience. Cannot wait for next year. cannot wait for next year. It's just
And next year, the moon will be high.
it had better be.
Rain will
Or
not
we're
fall.
fighting. We're gonna shift the clouds.
But in any case, I think that added to the adventure of it all.
Yes.
You know, so even if you plan one thing, you know, man plans, but God does his thing. So,
And
yeah.
again, rain, right? Rain stops nothing here.
No.
It was raining. Okay, fine. We still hiked. It was raining, right?
Yeah.
We
I
hiked.
missed it.
You missed
But
it.
next year, God spare,
Yes.
I will do it because it's a short hike. I'm hiking
Well, I
is not
don't
my.
know if we're
I'm
gonna
not
do
skilled at
that
hiking.
one.
I'm not. I lack that skill.
I'm not sure what our night hike is going to be at. It may not be. I don't think it will be Freshwater Lake. We're going to keep it.
You'll keep.
We're going to keep rotating.
Okay.
Yes, because we have. Just think about it. The national trail is 14 segments that crisscrosses, but every village has a trail. So we have roughly about 100 little villages and hamlets in Dominica. So we have a lot of options. So we have at least 114 trails to choose from.
So we have 114 years to play with. Awesome.
We're ready.
And some comment from Facebook from Jeanette Perryman. Good morning. My grandkids did all the 3 hikes. 7-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Everyone was so helpful to the kids.
Yes. Hi,
Huh.
Jeanette. Yes.
That's awesome.
And oh my God, these kids were amazing. They did the hike where I'm falling. They're perfectly fine. I'm like,
They're closer to the ground.
I like that story.
Yeah.
I'll go with that one. But they were, I mean, they just persevered. They figured it out, which was awesome.
That's
Loved
good.
it, loved it, loved it.
And I like that the hikes or the activities are not just for adults. It's like a
No.
family
Yes,
event. So
yes.
that's pretty cool. Let's take a short break and then we're going to get right back. This is Talking Tourism and we're here with Rhea Williams. She's the Executive Vice President of Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. And we're learning all things DHTA this morning. Yes. And if you're now tuning in, a pleasant good morning and welcome to you. My name is Monelle Alexis, the host of Talking Tourism. And with me in studio is the one and only Miss Rhea Williams. And this morning we're talking all things Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. And currently she is the Executive Vice President. She's done an amazing job and it's only 7 months in. She's only 7 months in. So Rhea, darling, we're hoping that the fire continues. I know it'll continue. And we love your energy from the first time I met you. Your energy is similar to mine. You know, the high energy, the bubbly vibes. I love this. All right, so let's talk about some success stories. I know that the Hike Fest was one such success story that you would have shared. And after we speak about successes, somebody made a comment on Facebook about marketing and DHTA. So I want us to touch on that briefly. But after we talk about the success stories with you at DHTA.
Okay. Oh, success stories at DHTA. With me specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's see. I think one of our the biggest changes that we've made is in our outreach to our members. For quite some time, I think they felt disconnected, and a lot of it had to do with not having someone in my position for, 3 years. That's a very long time. And feeling disconnected from the organization and how the organization is relevant to them and their businesses. So what we started doing, member site visits, and yes, we're doing road trips. We're going to start back again next month to do road trips out to visit our members to their properties. We started a spotlight of the week, so we would we have a system, not we pick the members, but we have a system where a different member, their business is promoted all our platforms. So we promote their packages, their properties, the members themselves, the owners. So we started, that's something that we brought back and started doing. Again, the newsletter to keep everybody updated on what's going on. And in the newsletter, we also include promotions. Because, for example, the majority of our smaller accommodations do not, for example, have restaurants. But if you have guests here, that's for Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, any of these events, we have a number of members that actually have restaurants and have events on those days. So again, it's creating that that community, a community and sense of community among of our members. That I think is one of our biggest achievement. The second thing is keeping our members informed. So, for example, for the storm that we just had, keeping them informed as to what's going on with the storm, what they need to do, where their shelters are, all of these things that are really, really essential when you're dealing when you're in this industry. So providing all of that information in one space. The big thing that we're working on for our members right now, and hopefully we'll get some feedback soon, is on getting medical insurance for our members under an umbrella, because the more it would be more cost effective to do it as a larger group than each individual business. So we're just waiting to hear back from Sagicor on what the policy would cover and what the premium would be, so we can do the formal presentation to our members. And so far the interest has been amazing. So we're really looking forward to launching this to our members.
You mentioned members. What are your numbers?
So right now we have 56 paid members, and we are looking to grow this number, but not just in hotel accommodations, but in any of the businesses in the tourism industry. So we're looking for membership in restaurants, in bars, in tour operators, car rental organizations, because all of these are part of the guest and the guest experience.
Sure. And then you mentioned platforms that you share your content.
Yes.
What are your platforms?
We have a Facebook page, which is Dominica Hotel and Tourism. And then we have an Instagram page, which is DHTA Dominica on Instagram. And currently we are building our website. So that I cannot wait to be finished and to launch, because what we want to do on this website is to be this central information space for any visitor in terms of what's going on in Dominica. So if you're coming to Dominica, say for example from August 1st to the 7th, you can actually go onto we want you to be able, once it's up, to go onto the website to see what's going on anywhere in Dominica between those dates, so you can plan it out. Because the whole purpose of a visitor coming is for them to spend money. Other than that, they're just here, right? So we want to give them as many opportunities as possible to spend as much money as possible. But other than that, we also want it to be the central space for visitors to know which restaurants are in their area, because right now we have 850 registered Airbnbs in Dominica. And they're all over the island, but we have no information for these guests, right? So, for example, if somebody rents an Airbnb in Casa Bruce, there's no information on what restaurants are in Casa Bruce, what car rentals are in Casa Bruce, what taxi services, what bars, what they can do in Casa Bruce. So we want to be that central space where you can actually go on and plan out your trip before you come.
I like that.
And spend money. We always get back to spending money. We want you to spend money, lots and lots of money.
So you mentioned, okay, your members, you have 56 members strong. I know that there are lots of benefits to partnering with DHTA, but pray tell, what are the benefits for this
for being a
partnership?
member? So it's training and development through the Act Talk workshops. We do quarterly member meetings where we bring in speakers to talk about any topic that they've brought up as an issue. We do, a huge part of it is advocacy on behalf of our members and the tourism industry. So, for example, on Wednesday, we presented recommendations to the government for the budget. And we talked about quite a few things, but our areas of focus were, investing in maintaining the hiking trails, which we're the nature island. We want when people to come, when we want hikers, not just hikers, but anybody that comes to be able to hike our trails and be safe and be clean and clear and properly signed and maintained. So that was, one of the things that we talked about, maintaining the trail. The other thing we talked about was our diving. I mean, everybody who has dived in Dominica that I've spoken to talk about how amazing and unique our dive sites are. Yes. So we presented the need for a hyperbaric chamber at the hospital, so that in the event there's an accident while somebody's diving, that they can be treated in Dominica. And also there are a lot of other benefits to the hyperbaric chamber. So we advocated for that because, again, it's key to developing our industry. We're nature. We're beautiful on land and underwater.
True.
And we want everybody to be able to explore both, right? And again, the number for our hiking trails, our Waitikubuli Sea Trail, which is the only warm water sea trail in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
So to promote those as industries, and they're also part of our pillars. So how do we invest in them? The other thing we talked about was marketing, marketing funds for to be able to market Dominica on an international level. And make sure that the funds are properly allocated.
Well, while we're on marketing, let's just touch a bit on that, because DDA, our responsibility is to market, promote the destination. But we also feel that, and I believe you would share that sentiment with me, marketing Dominica is everybody's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Even those in the diaspora.
Especially those in the diaspora.
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons why I want every Dominican that comes home to start seeing Dominica as a vacation space. Because think about it, DDA, DHTA, Ministry of Tourism, we can promote Dominica from now till kingdom come. But just imagine the power of me telling my American friends to come to Dominica and why. The reaction is different because it's more personal. Right, the way it's received, the impact of that conversation is more powerful.
Especially
right? So
if you have images and
right,
videos.
Right,
to
when
tell.
you come back from your vacation, you say, "Oh my God, I went to Red Rocks and did look at what I did. This is the food and this is where I ate." So the impact is different. So when it comes to marketing Dominica, I think our diaspora, let me rephrase, I don't like that word, by the way, our Dominican nationals abroad. Our Dominican nationals abroad are our biggest missed opportunity in promoting Dominica. And that's a market that we have to make sure that we reach out to them and say, hey, you know, promote Dominica. Encourage your friends to come down. Next time you come down, bring one friend. We're just asking for one.
And it could be something as simple as our Dominican nationals in foreign. You come you come back home, you take pictures, you post online.
Yes.
And then, use the hashtag Dominica.
Yes.
Or hashtag Discover Dominica.
Yes.
Some people are searching for Dominica, the destination
comes
online.
up.
It pops up. Your
Yes.
pictures pop up too with your
Yes.
experience.
Yes.
And it tells the story of the great adventures that you had here. And that will drive more traffic to our destination.
Exactly.
So you don't have to do much, All of us should play our part. And we don't have to do a lot.
Right.
All we have to do is post it.
Post it.
That's
Post
all.
it.
Just post it online.
Post
As
it.
simple as that.
Yeah.
And then word of mouth is the strongest or the best seller for advertising or promotion. So just tell your story.
That's it. So we're looking, having said that, we're looking for the Dominican nationals abroad to talk about Dominica and discover Dominica for themselves as adults through mature eyes with money to spend at this time.
Yeah, as somebody saying, we're all stakeholders, right?
Yeah.
This is our island.
Yes.
And then, as you mentioned, the tourism is about 12% of our GDP.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that number increasing if all of us play our part?
all of us pay our part.
Yeah, and the more people that come into the destination because of our efforts, more money for the vendors, more money for everyone.
Yeah,
It
more money in the economy
Yes,
popping.
it benefits all of us if we just do one simple thing.
Yes.
Just talk about it.
Just talk about it.
Say something positive. I mean, we all go through different challenges in Dominica. Yes, we have our different stories, but we need the visitors to come in.
Yes.
So just tell your story. Take a picture. You're walking, going home this afternoon. You see something amazing. Take a picture. Post on Facebook. Hashtag Dominica.
A rainbow.
Oh,
my
there we go.
God.
Something as simple as
Yes,
that.
yeah.
So we can do little things to create great impact.
Exactly.
And let's
I
do
like
it. And
that.
let's do that.
I like
Yeah.
that. Little things to create great impact. I like that.
Small things, baby
Yes.
steps. So it's almost that time for us to wrap up, Rhea. We have about 8 more minutes in studio. It has been a wonderful time with you as usual. But let's talk about future plans, your vision for the future with DHTA. What's your vision?
Oh, so my vision for DHTA is an organization with members in a diverse cross-section of the tourism industry who actually drives policy in Dominica rather than being reactive to policy that is enacted. And that's where the difference lies, right? If we can be in the meetings where the policy is being discussed before it gets to legislation, the impact that will have on what policy is implemented and how. So that's my vision for the organization as a whole. My vision for tourism in Dominica is that we all recognize the beauty of what we have, and we all learn how to develop it into a product. For example, we have the Bat Cave in Tebow. Why isn't that like blasted everywhere you could pop? People will pay money to go visit a Bat Cave, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
We have that. We have Chaudier. Chaudier Pool in I mean, don't even get me started on our hiking trails. So don't even get me started on that, right? But we have so many things here that we just take it for granted. It's just D River or D Waterfall or DC. People will pay thousands of dollars.
It just
to
takes
come.
one person to initiate,
Yeah.
Just one person. The person just starts, okay, so the Bat Cave is in my community. I'm going to start organizing tours in the area, find out, figure out what you need to do to
Yes.
ensure that you are safe and the members of the community or your guests are safe during that experience, and you run with it.
And that's one
A lot
of
of
the
these
things,
initiatives are not difficult, but I do want to recognize the people who have been doing a good job,
Yes.
because despite all these different things that we can do, a lot of Dominicans have been, even non-nationals have been doing a lot to promote Dominica as a destination. So I want to thank them for that. A lot of persons are online, they are posting, they are playing their part. So I want to thank you guys for that and keep doing the amazing job,
Yes.
because we got this. We got to ensure that Dominica gets to where it needs to be. And it takes us, the locals, the people, to get us to that point.
Yeah.
That we can be more proud of Dominica as a destination.
Absolutely. So I would love to say a couple quick things. Number one, to become a member. Any
Yes.
business could become a member of the DHTA. Just call us at 275-7454 or email at admin@dominicahta.org. And we'll discuss membership with you and send out the required form to be filled in.
Do you have tiers, categories?
Yes, so we do have tiers. We have, I think it's 6 or 7 tiers, and it depends on the number of rooms on your property.
Okay.
And Airbnbs are also can become members as well. And we recommend actually that Airbnbs become members of DHTA, because that is a real force to be reckoned with within the tourism industry in Dominica. And particularly with Dominican nationals abroad, many of whom come back and stay in Airbnbs, right? So
Yeah.
how do we all work together to make sure that
I think persons are fancying the Airbnbs more when they travel.
particularly when
compared
they
to
travel
hotels.
with families.
Yeah.
It depends. So particularly if they travel with families, it's more budget friendly to stay in an Airbnb. And for a number of foreigners tend to stay in hotels. Dominican nationals abroad tend to stay in an Airbnb in their community because they want to be close to their family but not in their family's house. So they will, if they're from La Plaine, they will get an Airbnb in La Plaine. If they're from Girardel, they get one in Girardel. And that's all understandable. But what we want is for that experience to be great from the time they land to the second they get on the plane to leave, right? And everything that happens in between. So that's one. The other thing I want to talk about is fundraising is essential for the DHTA. So we encourage everybody to visit our fundraising platform on Patreon, patreon.com/DHTA. It's called Friends of DHTA. Select a tier. We have 7 tiers. Each tier raises funds for a specific activity that DHTA wants to host and invest in to increase tourism in Dominica. So we have training buddies, which funds our Act Talk workshops. We have networking partners, which will fund our trade shows. We have Hiking Pals, which funds Hike Fest. Trailblazers, which funds maintenance of our hiking trails. Sea and Sand Warriors, which funds our beach cleanups. And the treatment of our coral reefs, which of course it's key to maintaining our diving industry. We have rivers and rainforest warriors. We lost quite a few trees along our riverbanks during Maria.
Yes.
And you can see the impact of it now because a little bit of rain and the soil just washes down. So we need to start replanting our rainforest along our riverbanks.
Sure.
And of course to keep our rivers clean. And then we have wildlife protectors, because I don't know if anybody knows, but Dominica is one of the few places on earth where we have 0 venomous animals, and we needed to make sure we protect our wildlife at all cost. They are key to maintaining the ecosystem of what makes Dominica Dominica. So we need to make sure we protect the environment for our wildlife here.
I agree, but Rhea, it's about time that we wrap up this morning. But your final words before we say goodbye. It has been a pleasure. Before I allow you to say your final words, I will tell you, I love your energy. Persons in the comment, they would have commented on your energy. They love that, your vibe, your drive. And well, thank you very much for being with us here this morning for Talking Tourism. I hope that, the people that work around you, the environment that you're in, it continues to fuel you so you can keep doing the amazing job that you have been doing. And don't give up. You know,
No.
despite whatever comes your way, just pivot. It's the setback for the setup.
It's called rerouting.
Yes. Reroute, and you'll
Reroute.
be absolutely fine. But we thank you for coming back home and for your contribution to our tourism industry. You've been doing an amazing job, and I love your energy and I love your spirit. So keep on the good work, Rhea. Keep it up.
Thank you. And just a quick plug.
Yes.
The third Wednesday of every month.
Yes.
DHTA will be doing Talking Tourism.
Yes.
See, we'll be back again every Thursday.
Every
Third Wednesday.
Every third Wednesday.
Every
That's
third
what-
Wednesday
yes.
starting July 17th. It will be DHTA on Talking Tourism. So we cannot wait for that one.
Awesome. Okay, so it's about time we wrap up for today's Talking Tourism program. So just say your goodbyes, Rhea. Last goodbye, audio to your...
Last, see you later, not goodbye. So we want to say thank you to our members who are not just active but continue to push DHE as an organization to be better and to do better. We want to say, thank you to Ministry of Tourism, DDA, for working with us on fostering and developing a relationship so we can all improve tourism in Dominica. Thank you for our sponsors who sponsored help us sponsor Hike Fest this year. We're looking forward for you to come on. So looking forward to working with everybody going forward.
All right, well, thank you very much, Miss Rhea Williams. So, guys, this is where I bid you farewell. I want to say thank you very much for joining us this morning. Those of you on social media, thank you very much. Those of you tuning on radio, thank you very much. My name is Monelle Alexis, and as always, it's my pleasure to be with you every Wednesdays for Talking Tourism right here on DBS Radio. And for all those who are visiting our beautiful nature island, remember, when you get here, respect yourself, respect our people, and respect our environment, and ensure you have fun. And when you post pictures, locals and foreigners, when you post anything about the destination, use the following hashtags: hashtag Dominica, hashtag Discover Dominica. Let the world know your story. And until next week, Wednesday, take care now. Bye-bye.